Hey guys.
Hi.
So this next video for Waifu Month on Marginal is kind of different in terms of tone. It's a little more depressing and it has some vague, like, suicide sort of stuff going on.
It's overall kind of a downer.
Yeah, so we just wanted to warn you ahead of time just in case.
It's also a little boring, but we hope you
Yeah.
like it anyways.
Yep. Okay.
While falling slowly to sleep, I wish that I would just never wake up. The next time I wake up, I think I would hate being in this world.
You don't already hate being in this world.
I've hated being in this world, and we're not even in it.
Yeah.
I hate the world
having
she's
to
being
watch
in.
people be in this world. This is terrible.
Yeah, like...
I question why we're even playing this, to be honest.
Because, well, at least that's done.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So, Rin's over.
And now back to Bob with the weather.
Okay. Yeah.
This will still be depressing, but we won't, we probably won't see any ladies die.
The next day, while rubbing my sleepy eyes, I headed to the office. Inside the train, there was just a fan that stirred around the warm air. With every station, the sweat on my back would stick to my dress shirt. Oh well. While holding onto a swaying handle, I reflexively loosened my necktie.
Is loosening the necktie just like a... That's the symbol
it's
for...
like the universal symbol for...
Whoa mama, right?
No, that's the universal symbol for I'm tired of this.
Okay.
I don't like having to work anymore. Let me just loosen the necktie,
then there's
get a beer,
two different necktie
and just stagger
loosens.
home.
There's two necktie loosens. One of them is I'm done with this shit, and the other is whoa mama, hello nurse.
I don't think that's a...
No, you've never seen... it's like they
necktie.
loosen the necktie and make a weird face and like waggle their eyebrows. You've never seen that in like cartoons?
No.
No?
The sun was
you'd know
burning hot today too. From the heat in the morning, it looked to be the most summery day of the year. All day today, I was supposed to be going around making sales. With another sigh, I headed to the office. No matter how depressing it was, there was no other alternative if it was work. The building's elevator lobby. I waited there for a while. It was around business opening time, so a fair number of people were around. Even if it meant missing one elevator, I wanted to get on one alone. Because at the start of the day, being trapped with a manager or coworker and forced to put on a polite smile was tiring.
And holding in your farts.
While thinking about that, I waited for the elevator. When I was in college, I used to sleep in the elevator.
That's actually kind of sad for you.
Okay, it's because I used to have to bum a ride to school with my dad at the time.
At the time, he's not your dad anymore.
At the time, my dad used to take me to school. So we'd get there at about 4 a.m. and I think my first class was at like 8 or 9. So I'd have hours upon hours upon hours to do nothing. And the only place that was really open at the time was the library. So I could go in and read stuff, but I was always really tired in the morning. So I'd just curl up in the corner of an elevator and put it in the basement and just sleep there. And then if the elevator started moving, I knew that it would have to go all the way back up to the ground floor. So if it started moving, I'd wake up immediately, stand up, and then act like I was in there.
God. Josh is just an elevator ghost.
A little bit.
I see. Oh, okay.
It's an elevator ghost. There was a young woman I didn't recognize. For some reason, she was peering intently at my face.
Well, not bad, and seems to have a nice side, too. She just sizing you up?
While saying that to herself, she quickly went off someplace. Maybe she mistook me for someone? Or perhaps she had been talking to someone on a cell phone.
You can usually tell.
Well, whatever. I should hurry up.
I guess she could have a Bluetooth.
Wasting time like this, I didn't want to meet any coworkers this early. In moments, the elevator arrived. I got on alone and looked at the panel of buttons. Of course, today, I wasn't headed to the 7th floor. As if perfectly natural, I reached for the 4th floor button. There, I noticed something strange. Huh? 8th floor?
Oh, shit.
There was a button for a floor I had never seen before. The one above the roof.
Is this like what Wayside School?
No, this is... Oh God, this is like a really, really bad cliche that happens a lot. Not just in Japanese stuff.
I don't think I've ever seen it before,
I've seen it in kids' books, too.
Okay.
Like, the 13th floor doesn't exist, but then suddenly the button's there and you hit it and it opens and it's a pirate ship. Oh, no.
Is that an actual example?
That's a real book. I can't
What's
remember.
it called?
I can't remember what the book is called.
Yeah, no, I don't know if I've seen this elevator cliche before.
This building only had 7 floors, so there shouldn't be a button for an 8th. I had ridden this numerous times, so there was no mistake. Plus, I had gone to the highest 7th floor every Monday, so I knew that a higher floor didn't exist.
So at some point the elevator stops being an elevator and turns into a Mario beanstalk and the 8th floor is on the cloud?
No, the 8th floor is like it's warp zone, so he goes up there and there's just pipes.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe I made a mistake and came to the wrong building? That was also impossible. The thought flashed through my mind, but I quickly dismissed it, even though I said it out loud. If anything, the inside of the elevator was very familiar. Since graduating and joining this company, I had used it for 3 years. There was no way I could be mistaken.
It honestly sounds kind of nice to be able to get a secure office job right out of high school and keep it for 3 years. Japan's, it's a monkey's paw with that shit. But hey, honestly kind of sounds okay.
Because salaryman work is way worse off than you might think.
But at least you get to sit down, right? I've never had a job where you get to sit down.
Sure. And even if they were constructing an 8th floor, I'd just been to the roof yesterday. They couldn't have done such a thing in just one day. Then what does this mean? Even while thinking that, this was an odd tale. I slowly pressed the button for the 8th floor. I didn't know where the button would take me, so I pushed it.
Well, it can only take you up, right?
Yeah. As the elevator rose, I had a number of thoughts.
It's the Willy Wonka elevator at the end that shoots into the sky.
In all fairness, it could be a B that he misinterpreted, and it
might
not go up.
Yeah! It could be a weird font, and it's a B for basement.
Yeah, and then maybe they just put it in because the basement originally had to take like a flight of stairs to get to or something.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I mean, that's a lot of weird construction work on an elevator shaft.
Maybe this is some kind of prank? I couldn't see the reasoning behind it, but if that were true, it was a pretty involved prank. But then, if that weren't true, somewhere in my heart, I felt anticipation for something.
I hope that's a prank someone's actually done, like a fully functional fake button.
Yeah, I think it would
where
be
it's
so
like it
difficult
presses when you touch it and stuff.
It would be way, way too difficult
to build it into the system. Well, if it was in like a theme park sort of a situation where it was part of a setup.
Maybe.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a fun idea. Oh, Rain World.
The first thing I could hear was the sound of rain. The first thing I could see was just whiteness. More importantly, just where was this? I'd thought for a moment that I was on the roof, but that was impossible. Just before, I'd been under a blazing summer sky. All I could see was white skies and flagstones, and thanks to the haze from the rain, I couldn't see very far, even though I had just gotten on the elevator to my office. Wait, the elevator... I realized there. I turned around. The elevator I'd just exited had disappeared. Reflexively, I looked around the area, but the same scene spread before me everywhere. Even when I strained my eyes, peering beyond the rain haze, all I could see was a faint white horizon. I have no idea.
Me neither, Bob. I don't know why the newscaster is named Bob. I think that's just what they're all named.
I guess. Specifically the weatherman, you mean?
Yeah. It's a type of newscaster.
Already, this was beyond the realm of my comprehension. No, not just me personally. Anyone in this situation would be the same.
Maybe not anyone.
No, I think there's a lot of people who might be able to adapt to the situation pretty well.
Yeah, this is just, you look behind you and there's nothing there and you're like, oh, I'm in Wonderland. Okay, I better make sure I don't die.
I tried to think as calmly as I could, as realistically and objectively as possible. There were only two things I could think of. This is a dream. But it felt too real to be a dream. The scene in front of me, the feel of the rain on my skin. Then perhaps this is the afterlife? But even assuming this was the afterlife, I had absolutely no memory of when I died.
It's a mystery.
But maybe that was just how it worked. I had certainly stepped into the elevator, so there was the chance I had an accident there.
Just the cable snapped and he crashes to the basement and he wakes up in this.
First floor.
No, he was headed towards the 8th and then the cable snapped and he fell 8 floors.
I don't know. Maybe this was how it feels to die before you realized it. But, well, I don't really mind that. Even assuming this was the afterlife, that is how I felt. It wasn't as if I wanted to die, but living had also been painful.
Honestly, the gray expanse with rain is way
Sounds
worse
like a
than dying.
Worse afterlife, yeah. Deliver me from that, please. Or if you couldn't, then kill me now.
Kill me now. Do it now and you get this bonus CD of all your favorite punk hits. I got you there.
Oh, God.
It's a reference.
From Huey Lewis and the News.
And all your favorites.
That was something I'd kept saying to myself every Monday. Looking up, I saw that pure white sky. It was unchanging, giving no indication that it would ever stop. It wasn't a downpour so much as a drizzle, but being in it constantly soaked me. At the least, let's go find a place to get out of the rain. I still had no idea where this was, but there was no point in staying still. Taking off my tightly tied necktie, I began to walk into the rainy haze.
Yeah, no one cares if you're dressed properly in rain hell.
Dot, dots, lots of dots. So for a while, exactly how long I didn't know, I continued to walk around the area. However, the same scenery just continued on without any change.
He just loops back around to the other side.
Everywhere I went, the old flagstones continued. I couldn't see anything that resembled a structure. And of course, no signs of people. No, not just people. There weren't any signs of living, moving things at all.
And no sign of this cold front coming to an end.
When I casually looked at my watch, it stopped. For some reason, my watch had stopped. The hands continued to donate that it was still 6:40 a.m.
Donate to this man's hands.
That was the time I got onto the elevator. I'd checked when I first got on, so there was no mistaking it.
Who wears a watch anymore?
And this also, just what did it mean? While thinking that, I walked forward. It didn't seem like I would come up with an answer, and standing around wouldn't help. Even though I was getting soaked in the rain, it was particularly cold. It wasn't particularly
cold. See, you do it too.
Yeah, well. But to be constantly rained on was more of a psychological strain than I had imagined.
Just the eternal dampness.
Like
that is
water
hell.
torture. Like water torture.
Yeah.
It's one of those, it's not really all that unpleasant. It's just a drop of water who gives a fuck. But if it keeps happening, it's just really annoying.
Yeah, it just never stops.
Eventually, after walking for a while, it was far,
station.
so I couldn't tell clear. It's a desk, but I could see something through the rain haze.
Well, it depends on how far away it is. It's on the horizon.
Oh no,
I think it's a gas station.
I know what that is. That is an awning with a bench under.
Oh, it's a bus stop.
Yeah, it's a bus stop in the middle of like eternity. At least from the time I'd started walking up to now, it was the first time I'd seen something that could be called a structure. Well, let's head over there then. There might be some kind of hint there, or there might even be someone else. Just as I was thinking that was the time.
So is this just that remake of Yume Nikki that they announced?
No, and I don't like how that one looks.
I haven't seen pictures of it.
I gotta be totally honest. They got trailers for it now. There's
I
a
haven't
whole
seen.
prologue.
Okay.
It looks like an infinitely walking game that's side-scrolling.
Side scroll.
It's 2.5D.
That's weird.
Yeah, this is you, by the way.
Oh, okay. Hello? If this is the priestess girl, why is she dressed like this?
I don't know. Why does she look like that?
I don't know.
Her face is really messed up.
Yeah, she looks a little melty.
Being spoken to all of a sudden, I spun around to find an unfamiliar little girl. She was facing me, looking a little embarrassed.
She lost a shoe. Who are you?
Oh, I don't know who that is.
Know.
I don't know. No, it was me.
I'm Rin. Please call me Rin.
We'll know if it's you because we'll hear the Japanese going.
Oh.
He doesn't have a voice, but she does.
Yeah. Wait, wasn't Rin the name of the other girl?
I don't know. I don't remember. Cheerfully, Rin, or whatever, bowed her head. She seemed quite young, around elementary school age, perhaps. We're going to jail.
We're going to jail, Bob.
She didn't seem all that surprised at me. In fact, she seemed like a child, but she was somehow extremely calm. It felt like she was used to this mysterious place. But I couldn't help wondering why she was wearing just one shoe, with her other foot left bare.
She's got one foot in the real world and one foot in the rain world. Maybe.
Her appearance was such a disconnect from this place, it made things feel even more unsettling.
I'm just guessing, but you've just arrived, right?
Yeah, that's right. Hold on.
Oh.
More importantly, what is this place?
Explaining that would take a while. I'm gonna start trying to do an imitation of your newscaster voice in the anime girl voice.
Take a while? Explain.
For now, since we'll get wet, please come here.
Hey! If she didn't hear my voice, she ran off while making splashing sounds, as if she didn't hear my voice. I have no idea what she was. I stared at her back, wondering if I should be going with her. While at the same time...
Hey, if you don't hurry, you're going to get soaked.
Turning around, the girl, no, I believe she said Rin, energetically called to me. I didn't really feel any evil intent from her, even if there were tons of unanswered questions and doubts.
Yeah, she could just be Rain Satan for all he knows.
Nothing could be done just standing here. She might be Rain Satan, I don't know.
Yeah, she still could be.
Coming to that decision, I followed after her. I walked behind her until we arrived in front of a large building. It is an awning with a bench. It's basically just a bus stop. I think that's literally a bus stop sitting next to it.
It's with grandiose columns, though.
Yeah, it's like the Parthenon's bus stop.
Huh.
Apparently, I'd seen it from quite a distance. There were a number of stone columns, and in the middle was a thing that looked like a bench. Despite there having been no man-made things, or anything other than the aged flagstones up until now, to see fragments of modern civilization in just this spot was also very odd.
Phew, that was cold.
Brushing off the rain clinging to her, she stood next to the old bench and bus stop signs. Multiple?
Yeah, there were multiple. There were like 2 of them.
Weird. Apparently, this place had bits of civilization and some small traces of someone living here.
Wow, wow! I forgot. I left the laundry out to dry.
In the rain?
Does it stop raining ever?
I don't think so, yeah. Saying that, she hurriedly went to grab the laundry-like clothing. There was a rope skillfully strung between the 2 bus stop signs. Apparently, she'd been drying clothes there.
Dear me, why is it only at a time like this that I have to hang out my underwear?
She blushed heavily at the uncharacteristically flashy underwear, and looking closer, there seemed to be things resembling books of manga beyond her. Why did this one spot have pieces of modern life? I couldn't even imagine the reason. However, there was something that held my attention even more. I thought that there might be the chance other people were around. Hey, could it be that you're alone?
Yes. Once in a while someone comes through, but it's basically just me. And also, the only place you don't get wet from the rain, that is, the only place with a roof, is here.
I see. Most likely it wasn't a lie, but the honest truth. I couldn't think of how lying to me would benefit her, and the girl in front of me didn't seem to be that kind of person.
Bet she's got one really pruny foot at all times.
She only got one shoe. But before coming here, I had walked around on my own and couldn't see anything resembling a building or traces of people. That meant that only ones here were the girl and myself. And just what was this place? I'd thought I was dreaming thought it was a dream at first, but decided against that. It all felt too real. A place I had never seen before with an unfamiliar girl, now appearing before me. It was too much to be a dream. But that left just one answer. Then this is the world you go to after you die.
The world after you die? You mean the afterlife?
Yeah. Even I think it's a bit unrealistic, but I can't think of anything else. Even if this is where you go when you die, I have no memory whatsoever of dying. But that might just be how that worked. I suppose from what was going on before I came here, I probably died in an elevator accident.
Yeah, the cable snapped.
I don't really want to imagine what my real body looks like now. Flattened from falling a long distance, or torn to pieces.
That's great, Bob.
As I dazedly pondered that, the girl slowly opened her mouth.
I don't really know, but I don't think so.
No? Then this is the real world?
That's a bit off too. Oh, you've got just the right thing for this.
Saying that, she pointed at my wristwatch. For some reason, it had been stopped all this time.
Your watch is stopped, right?
Yeah? What about it?
Essentially, that's what it is. It's just a space between time.
Nani?
This place you see is a place where time has stopped.
Time has stopped?
Yes, this place is a completely different place from the real world, a place where time stands still.
I don't get it. More like I understand what the words themselves mean, but not their content.
That sounds like something you'd say in response to someone on the internet.
Yeah.
To put it concretely, here, you don't get hungry and you don't age. Oh, is that the logic behind why she looks like she's 5?
Maybe. Then you can't even die?
Yes, that's right.
Have you tried? It's like a sci-fi novel or a fable.
Yes, I can understand feeling that way, but this is real.
Even hearing that, I can't exactly just go, oh, okay. But at the same time, I couldn't deny everything, even if I think it's all unscientific. If nothing else, the scene spread in front of me, the things surrounding how I came here, were all real. If I were to believe this girl's words, then this place is like a room for a soul and time? So like in Dragon Ball, a separate dimension where one day became 1 year.
Better start training.
But wait, you went to that one willingly, so it's different, right? I had just arrived here before I knew it.
Technically, you pressed the button of your own free will.
Then this is like the Moyaga, a place that appears to lost travelers.
I don't know what
and
that
you here,
means.
Sorry, Rin, you're like the master?
It's not like I'm some kind of spirit or monster, you know.
Oh, no, I meant that as an example. I still didn't understand the conditions, or how I managed to come in, despite having pushed the button and like he should know. He should totally know.
Yeah,
that's
like
all I'm
he
trying
just
to say.
fucking he found a door to the other side.
But essentially, this place seemed to be another dimension, separate from the real world.
Yeah.
It's literally
Also,
the hyperbolic time chamber.
If you want to go back to the real world, you can go back at any time.
Huh? I can go back? Any time? That was unexpected. I didn't think that was how stuff like this worked. Like, once you enter, you can never leave. Or at least, it would be real difficult to. And yet the girl before me was saying how easy it was to go back.
Then why don't we go and see it for a bit?
Hey, wait. Before I could speak, she quickly jumped outside. She'd been like that earlier, lively, you might say, or at least unable to sit still. Oh well, let's go take a look.
So she didn't literally do like a weird shutters wipe away.
Guess not, yeah. Unchanging, the rain continued to fall. Falling from the white sky, it formed little drops and struck my body. Under the sky, I followed behind the girl. Splashing sounds of water rose up from the wet ground. It was like a drizzle, so you didn't get drenched, but you would get a bit wet. However, it wasn't cold or chilling. It was simply wet. I've been in rain like that. That kind of rain is kind of just unpleasant.
I like warm rain.
It's not really warm, it's like neutral rain.
I think that's still better than cold rain. Ew. I thought it was around here.
What's wrong? You've been peering around for a while.
Yes, it's usually supposed to appear around here.
Appear? What will?
Why, the entry to the real world, of course.
Entryway? She never failed to say things that were incomprehensible. While thinking that and walking around for a bit...
Ah, look, you can see it.
It's just a door.
Well, is that the elevator?
It looks like it, yeah. At this distance, even I could see what she was talking about. Beyond the rainy mist, there was a small, box-like structure. Could that be an elevator? Though for some reason, the exterior had become an aged stone structure. On closer examination, I saw marks of what appeared to be elevator parts in various places. You could almost believe that it had grown suddenly out of a rooftop.
I don't really understand it, but you came in from this, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Then you'd go back through it, too.
I see. That makes a certain kind of sense. It was certainly more natural than suddenly appearing out of an empty space or disappearing like smoke.
But I see that recently the entryway's become sort of this thing now. She's never seen it in this form?
Yeah, she's never seen it looking like an elevator.
What's it look like for her?
I don't know. Recently? Then it was different normally?
Yes, up until now there were mostly sliding screens or doors.
So she's from a very old time period and she's been in here for hundreds of years.
And Rin was the name of the sister. But I could imagine the perspective character of that prologue taking the name out of like honor or something.
Or maybe it's a situation in which not only is time stopped, but it's kind of disillusioned. Like it's disjointed. It's disconnected from everything else properly. So if he's here, it just looks like this now, but sometimes it's still sliding doors. And if it's a sliding door, then it could be somebody coming in from, like 1500 years prior or something like that.
Yeah, maybe. This time's different and a bit fun.
Saying that, Rin smiled happily. Looking at her young features in that smile, I felt like she was honest and a good child. But from what she had said, there were a number of things that nagged me. I probably was mistaken, but... So you don't know what an elevator is?
Oh, I know. It's a thing you ride up. It's a thing you ride to go up and down, right?
She stood up a bit straighter when she said this. Well, she described it a bit oddly, but she was correct.
So what will you do? Go back?
I hesitated just a bit. It was true that I was dissatisfied with the real world.
This world is literally made of dissatisfaction, though. Look at it.
Yes. When I first came here, I thought I died and figured there wasn't much I could do if I was dead. But if there was a choice, it was also odd to be asked if I wanted to reject that and stay here. Say, Rin, one question.
Ah, yes?
If I go back, would I be able to return here?
No, it's apparently impossible.
Well, that was natural. If that were true, this place would probably be full of people. Then there's some kind of time limit. If I go past that, I can't go back.
I think for about 3 days it's fine. 3 days before you come back?
I don't know. 3 days. Then there's no rush to go back. Staying here forever might turn out to be painful. Yet, compared to the real world, it wasn't necessarily worse either. Then, for now, I'll leave off going back.
Really? Wow, that makes me happy. See, not many people come here, so it was lonely being here on my own.
She faced me cheerfully and said that. Well, it's only natural to feel lonely when you're all alone in a place like this.
So, shall we go back to the place from earlier?
Yeah, we'll get wet if we just keep standing here after all.
And it's going to be dark soon, so let's hurry. Ugh, this place is dark.
It gets dark, but isn't time stopped?
Yes, I really don't know why, but there's night.
That's weird.
It is.
It's really weird. With that, Rin started walking quickly.
So she's been in here more than 3 days.
Yeah, as I watched her, I recalled something that had been nagging at me before. Rin, where's your shoe?
It's on the other side of the door.
Time was stopped in this place. You don't get old or hungry or die. Also, she said people rarely came here, and she felt lonely being here on her own. Then she said, she can't have been here. Wait, she can't have been her since a long time ago,
Typo.
Can she? Yeah, she couldn't have been here since a long time ago, could she? That flashed through my mind suddenly, but I quickly quashed it.
You don't hear that word a lot.
No, that's a very weird word. At the least, she knew what an elevator was. Her clothing was a bit strange, but it was obviously modern. I think she's picking clothing up from people, or it's just wandering in here.
Yeah, this is where the left socks all end up.
Yeah, there's still time. That's why she only has one shoe.
Yeah.
There were a bunch of things that were hazy, but they'd probably become clearer eventually.
So if is it 3 days in real world time? So that would be what, like 3 years inside the rain hell?
I don't know. He used the day for a year thing as a Dragon Ball reference.
Yeah. But also there's a night cycle in this.
If there's
so
a night cycle, I'm guessing
those.
it's 3 days within the actual room itself. Time passed, and we returned to the place from before. And I had asked her a number of questions, but...
I really don't know.
Or...
Yeah, I think that's probably right.
It was like that all the time. I didn't feel like I heard anything solid. How long had this place existed? For whom? And for what purpose?
For what purpose?
To begin with, just what was this place? A bit more personally, why did I come here? I asked a mountain of these natural questions, but she herself didn't make any firm answers. At the same time, she didn't seem to be lying or hiding anything. Apparently, she herself really didn't understand. Oh, yeah, earlier, didn't you say night was coming?
Yes, any moment now.
Despite that, I don't see any changes.
Just hit like a ton of bricks.
Yeah. The sky above us remained pure white, still pouring down rain. You couldn't even tell whether it was morning or afternoon.
Well, you see, for some reason, this place only has day and night.
No transitions.
Yeah, it's like a light switch, on and off.
Night? Then there's no morning or evening?
Yes, so it suddenly gets dark, and if you're not careful, it's dangerous.
Oh, God. Then she continued to explain.
Wait.
Around here, it seems there really is nothing. Obviously, there were no man-made lights, but you also can't see the stars or moon. So at night, it becomes pitch black. And if you go too far from this place, it's apparently dangerous. It's probably dangerous because there's nothing and you'd just be tripping over yourself, like, infinitely.
That, or there's beasts afoot.
I see. Certainly walking around in pitch black is dangerous.
So that's why sleeping before night comes is best. Oh, wait. There's no place to sleep out here. But here.
Yeah.
Oh, so, like, they gotta share the bench?
Yeah. Saying that, she pointed at the bench we had been sitting on. Now that she mentioned it, there wasn't anything else usable in sight.
I'm sorry that it's a bit narrow.
Eh? Oh, don't worry about me. I'll just lay down and sleep around here.
No, I'll curl up really tight and sleep really small. Somehow 2 people can... maybe...
No way. No matter how you look at it, the bench is just for one person.
And the floor hurts and it's cold. She just...
I'm fine. It's enough that I don't get wet from the rain.
Like, I could see it just being that, like, this is the first time there's been another person's body heat around. She may just be desperate for, like, not freezing in the night.
Since she was here first and I came later, looking at it that way, I could be called a freeloader. Moreover, from what I'd heard earlier, you don't get hungry here, nor sick, and apparently you don't die.
Unless you wander out at night?
So from that, I had a feeling it wasn't physically possible to be injured. Or, if you did get hurt, it would quickly heal. Then there's nothing to worry about, sleeping on the floor.
It could easily just be that since time doesn't pass, if you, like, get a paper cut, it just stays open and doesn't bleed, but also doesn't heal.
That would suck.
Yeah.
Somebody brings a gun in and shoots you and you just have holes, but they don't heal. And then the moment you walk out, they blow off.
That could easily be the logic. And even if there's no other choice...
that's me.
Oh.
And even if there's no other choice, sleeping on a bench? Like some homeless guy?
Better than sleeping on the floor.
Wait. Bench? Hey, this place really is strange.
Like I said, time has stopped in this place, Bob.
No, I didn't mean that. Why is it that this place has a bench and bus stops? Everything. Everything else was just staged stonework.
Staged own work.
They were too out of place.
Well, about that, sometimes
What's wrong?
Night is coming. There it is.
With those words.
Like, just dramatically, yeah.
In a flash, the sky turned dark. What had just been pure white was being painted black. It was like watching one of those time-lapse videos.
Well, we'll continue tomorrow. Good night, America.
Wait, hold on.
And also sorry about the bench.
Sorry about what bench? Why is she sorry about it?
Saying
just that, she laid down on the bench. And, as if I was about to say my next sentence...
Okay, this is a little inappropriate.
She's all fumya about things.
Also, what's her head resting on?
The bench. Her shoulder.
I don't know what that's supposed to.
What? She's already asleep? Well, she's probably conditioned to it. That's a bit quick, even for a person who sleeps easily. While thinking that, I lay down helplessly next to the bench. And while feeling the cold, hard stone on my back, I quietly closed my eyes.
Okay, are you falling asleep?
Yeah, I'm starting to get tired. Lady and rainy world.
Well, it's a rainy world with a lady in it, kinda.
I'm guessing the lady's the one from before we walked into the elevator.
Very possible. But yeah, I think this has been a million years.
Yeah, I think it's been a little bit too long as well.
Honestly, yeah. Plus, we need to give our throats a rest. You feeling it?
Yeah, these kinetic novels are murder on the throat.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, we're getting a lot of practice for when we eventually become professional talkers.
No, we aren't. Do you got anything to say? Final thoughts on this?
There's aspects of this that I could like if it was presented in a way that wasn't... Like, of all of the ones we've seen, this one doesn't even give you the character portraits almost, like, at all.
No, it's using actual, like pictures.
Yeah, but then
like rather than having the text, a background, and a portrait, it's just the text and a picture, and the picture is a background and a portrait. But
if
that's
it's
because it's specifically just like the CG of the
but sometimes it's not even a portrait. Sometimes it's the outside of a door.
Yeah, no.
So
I've noticed.
fucking. I'd like to see both characters on screen and there's like dialogue. I kind of get not showing the main character because it's supposed to be like, oh, that's your perspective character, but not showing the two sisters at once while they're talking.
We saw that.
Well, not their faces.
No, not their faces though.
It was always those close-ups of like their pants or whatever.
It always was shot from like the chin down, and I think that was intentional.
Yeah, I know, but these decisions would work fine in a different medium. Like if they were also animated so you could see like her hands gesturing to just do her wordless talking.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of a slog this way though.
I didn't realize that the subtitle on this game is everything has an end. That's incredibly depressing.
I mean, it's true though.
Yeah, I guess. Just yeah.
Can't wait for the rain world to start flooding so it's up to your knees, and then you have to travel to the weird hexagonal drain and then jump into it in order to end your existence and then go into the real world.
Nah, I'm betting that the rain cycle in this world is literally just as soon as it hits the ground and seeps through the cracks, it comes out the sky again.
Yeah, you know what? That's probably it.
It's like Pac-Man. If you hit the side of the wall, you just pop up on the other side. If you hit the floor, you pop out of the sky.
So the old flagstones are literally resting on top of the clouds, and you're just seeing the bottom of it when you look up. Yeah, maybe.
Something like that. I got nothing else. Do you have anything?
We're very tired.
Okay.
There's a chance we won't finish this. It's going to depend on
very good chance
number of views, number of comments, tone of the comments.
Really want to see more? I don't know. Share it with people and get the views up or the likes.
And just drop into the comments and say, I want to see where this goes.
Honestly, I don't want to play this myself very much, but if more people want to see it, then not.
Yeah.
But I mean, whatever.
I'll bet it's much better to read these without having to say them out loud.
It would probably be much quicker.
Yeah, so I bet if you weren't a self-torturing LPer, you could just sit down and read it like a book, and you'd have some illustrations, and that would be it. And it would probably be fine, because it's not like it's poorly written.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Yeah, so if you want to see more of it, just go buy it, I guess.
It's weird that it doesn't actually branch. I'm kind of...
Maybe it will later.
No, it's just like
I think it's just the two perspective characters get chapters.
Because we hit prologue and then we had Rin and elevator and it was like okay, and then we hit Rin and nothing opened, and then we hit elevator and then the next two came in.
Well, I think it's just going to be you have to do both of them and then the next set opens.
Yeah,
I
something
think.
like that anyway. Yeah.
The fact that they even let you choose anything is astounding, though.
Yeah, a little bit
compared to the other ones.
All right. It's not really even a choice, though. It's what chapter do you want to read first?
Yeah. It's not even a choose your own adventure.
Or chapter 2.
It's just open the book adventure.
Yeah, it's open the book and pick a random page.
Yeah, except it's not really random. They give you specific ones you can open to.
Yeah, I guess. So it's like, what do you want to read, chapter 1 or chapter A?
Yeah, basically.
Chapter 2 or chapter B.
Well, anyway, sorry that this was boring. Unless it wasn't, in which case tell us it wasn't boring.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Happy Waifu Month.
Happy Waifu Month.
You know what, this will probably wind... No, yeah. Happy Waifu Month.
Happy Waifu Month.